And welcome back to Carper Ridge Elementary School. Hey guys, take a look at this beautiful garden out here. You can see they've got one of the nicest gardens you can actually find here in the desert Southwest. And before we talk about that, we want to talk a little bit about how to keep gardens really doing great out here in the desert Southwest. And believe it or not, McDonald's has got something they're giving away for free that really helps out. Tell us a little bit about your program.
Well, you know, McDonald's has the Good Neighbor, Good Grounds program, and each McDonald's has at least 29 pounds daily of coffee ground waste and 11,000 pounds yearly. So we have the schools come pick up the coffee grounds for their gardens as well as our customers.
And take a look at these coffee grounds. They go a long ways towards really helping with the soil out here and basically with the macros in the soil itself. That means earthworms, and that's something you got to have in your soil out here. You can see the kids out here, they're grinding all this up and making it into beautiful compost. And what they'll do is they'll mix a lot of this stuff they're getting out of the garden in with these coffee grounds. And Mrs. Hubble, you have done a fantastic job. I got to introduce Mrs. Hubble over here. She's the one that put together these gardens, and she's the one that really got these kids all enthused about it. Tell us a little bit about your program.
Thank you so much for saying that. It's so nice to have an expert here.
You know what? Before she starts, she kind of reminds me of one of my school teachers. It really got me enthused. But go ahead. Tell us all about everything you've got.
On that note, the students work from August through May preparing the gardens and then planting the gardens and then harvesting whatever we can out of the gardens in order to learn from eating what it's like to eat fresh vegetables, well, we don't have any fruit, but just what you can use by growing it yourself.
Yep, and you've got a lot of vegetables, you've got a lot of flowers out here, and one of the best things you've got is great looking soil. And you make your own soil out here, don't you? And you do a lot of composting. These coffee grounds will go a long ways. But take a look at some of this stuff. Nasturtiums in here. Tell us a little bit about some other stuff that you're growing here.
Well, we're thankful to McDonald's to get these grounds. We get them every week, and then the students work to make the compost. We put it in the garden, and hopefully we produce great vegetables.
We are looking at them right here. These are nasturtiums, folks. I grow them in my own garden. They are an edible. They look beautiful, and they hold up very well out here in the desert Southwest. They've got another little garden right over here. Tell us a little bit about your sensory garden right over here, Mrs. Noble.
Yes, well, we thought it was important to have different plants available for students to either touch, that they could smell, or that they could eat themselves. And one of the students' favorites is the lamb's ear. They just love to come by and just rub the leaf, and it's so soft, and that'll be one of the leaves they'll pick out of the garden for our leaf classification unit.
And you've got a lot of tomatoes that came up wild. You've got some mint over here, alyssum, which is a great companion plant to tomatoes because we need a lot of pollinators, and it really brings in the pollinators. So folks, like I've always said, lots of flowers, lots of vegetables, and you're on your ways towards growing great produce out here. You can see some of the sunflowers back here. You got another garden right over here. I see some kale, cabbage, and
peas. We have pea pods growing in the back, and when we get enough for one class, the fifth graders will come out and they will pick the the peas right off the vine and wash them up and eat them.
And then I want to show one more. This is this is a garden that has all whites in it, and it's got something in there that you don't find too often. This is a Chrysanthemum pallidosium. This does a great job on fighting pests in your garden naturally, and you've got some other stuff in here too, don't you?
Yes, we have the narcissus growing, and we have a calla lily at the end. We have alyssum bordering it. We have snapdragons coming up at the end. We just love that garden.
Well, take a look, folks. You can see you can do this right at your own home. They're the kids right there. Oh, everybody go ahead and wave. Making great compost is what you need out here in the desert Southwest. Hey, guys, we'll be back with more Good Morning Arizona right after this.
Cool. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, a lot of happy faces out there, and maybe a future Dave, the garden guy.
Another garden guy. Love it. Well,